These cinder block bookshelves are a step up, probably about 27 steps up from the kind of cinder block bookshelves that college students build in their dorms because they're too poor to afford good shelves. But these are modular Bauhaus modernist style shelves made with cinder blocks and regular old 2x8s. These are 2x8 pine, which is cheap. I took these in Lowe's and set them up. I noticed that two of these is almost right to fit an 18-inch cinder block. So check that out. These actually work. And I found, rather than opening these things up and letting the ugly part of the cinder block, where there's the two holes in the middle, to lay them on their side like this and make a deeper shelf, it looks like it was planned. You could find something like this at IKEA, but it would break in a year. This won't break in 100 years. These are the best shelves I have ever made. Now this entire unit here cost me about 95 bucks. And to make it look prettier, my wife insisted that I go ahead and paint the cinder blocks white, and I'm really glad that she insisted on that. I didn't want to take the time to paint them all, but once I did, it was really a good idea. And you can see here, okay, here's the center ones. I just decided to get a little clever. These are half-size solid cinder blocks, and then on the sides, those are the hollow blocks with half-size ones for spacers. So I figured, okay, I can see how deep my shelves will go. If you just go a single cinder block depth, you can only fit some small paperbacks, you can fit CDs and things like that, but it's not quite good enough. So these shelves here, the depth of these was perfect for most of my books. And then down here for storage, we went 2 full cinder blocks. And then I got a little cutesy by tilting some of the blocks on their sides and by leaving this area wide open. We did this so we could have a little bar and pass through kind of an area where we could put stuff as an extra, side buffet for the table. Here, in between, I just cut pieces to fill in the gaps and make sure that the spacing stays the same. You can see this is just a chunk. This actually comes out of here that fits in there and makes it look finished. That way it looks like the wood actually wraps all the way around the cinder blocks. Now I'm going to take you and show you the other one that I built in my office, which is a bigger one. Okay, this is the epic, huge, triple cinder block bookshelf. And it's very similar to the other one, but I didn't paint the blocks on this. I just left them their normal gray, which you'll see isn't quite as pretty, but perhaps it's more authentic, And I did the same thing where I spaced these out. This one cost me about $200 in materials. I think it was just under 200 bucks. But I was looking at the price of oak bookshelves and I realized oak bookshelves are expensive. Now I could get some chintzy bookshelves from Walmart and use those, but they just are probably gonna bend and break. I've had those cheap ones before. They're made out of particle board, and this is Florida and the humidity isn't very kind to them. These guys, I built the first one of these up in Tennessee when I lived there, and it lasted us a good 6 years. And I thought, I'm gonna do this again. And this time I got even cooler with it because I put the little insets and I changed the depth on some of the shelves so I can have wider shelves and inset shelves and bigger shelves down on the bottom for more storage. And I was able to keep probably 1,000 books in here. And I had some CDs and I had some little paintings and other things that I had on here. But it's a very simple system, and all it takes is some cutting and arranging, and you can get yourself a really sweet bookshelf. Now, you might ask, well, why didn't you just build a bookshelf out of lumber? Well, I've done that before. I've built some bookshelves out of lumber. They don't have the stability of this setup. Honestly, these things are like immobile. I mean, they will not go anywhere. They don't shake. They weigh a ton, which is great for my concrete slab foundation. It's very solid. And The cost of lumber has gotten ridiculous and the time was ridiculous. I put this together in about 3 hours over the course of an afternoon. I got a few extra blocks in case I wanted to change or mess around with it. I got a couple of extra boards I figured I could use for something else later if it didn't work. But I pretty much had it all planned out ahead of time. And then I just went and did it. And I'm very glad I did because these have been fantastic shelves. Just some ideas for you there. Anyhow, visit me on the web at thesurvivalgardener.com for more gardening and homesteading and all kinds of cool stuff. And I hope you'll like and subscribe. And if you do create your own cinder block bookshelves, stop by. If you've got a cooler design, please share it. I'd love to post pictures and get it out there so other people could do it. This is the cheapest, most stable, coolest, easiest, fastest, most awesomest way to set up some bookshelves quickly without breaking the bank.